What's good, everybody? Alchem here, back to another Let's Talk style video. Today we're gonna look back at the combat cast for Melina that occurred a few hours ago. But I'm gonna skip past the Melina gameplay stuff. I'm excited for characters and gameplay, but I'm even more excited for gameplay changes. So we got a trailer yesterday for Melina. I've seen more than enough gameplay. These characters are gonna come out fairly soon. We're gonna get our hands on them. So I really want to focus this video on the gameplay changes. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna give you guys my honest thoughts, my honest opinions on things that I like and things that I don't like. So let's go full screen and let's get it in, man. No more bullshit. Let's go.
With that information, if you had
it. That's true.
So I forgot to mention, I'm gonna pause in between everything so I can give you guys my thoughts and focus on what I'm saying. All right. So just throwing that out there. Here we go.
I get the excitement. I get the excitement. So, but what I guess we're gonna talk about is really some system changes to start, which is kind of more of the stuff we're gonna talk about.
I'm happy, man.
I think we want
Finally.
to start with like sort of the big thing we kind of teased last week.
I am 100 out of 10 excited. So, the big change to the variation system is we are adding custom variations in
there it
Kombat
is.
League and in tournament mode.
Finally.
You will be able to make your own variation and use them. And
I said it from the beginning. They should do it.
There will be a UI thing now, which shout out our UI team. They have to be like one of the big unsung heroes of a video game studio. They are constantly working on new stuff and weird technical things to get into the game. I mean, everyone is an unsung hero behind the scenes, but shout outs to them.
Well, it's one of those things that where if you don't notice it, it's probably done really well.
Yeah, when you're playing a game, you really think about it, right? So, and they're always asked to add these new situations and stuff. Anyway, when you pick your character, a little thing will come up with your variation, and now you can just go into custom, and it's
perfect.
Sort of like the abilities screen. So
perfect. The fact that you can do it in the character select screen.
Rules apply that you know if a move conflicts, you can't do it.
I'm cool with that.
And the slots, and then the one big thing is there's going to be a few moves that are actually banned from competitive play.
This is the key, how you make it work.
I'll use the example, Terminator's Terminate move, where we felt that they were probably a little too wild, even for Wild West.
I agree.
Made for tower and
there's some nutty shit.
And we did not feel they were appropriate for competitive play at this time. There are not many. The vast majority of moves will be tournament.
This is exciting to me.
There will be a little call out if you try to record it with a thing.
Cool. Alright, I'm going to pause it for a quick second. Alright, so what Stephanie said is extremely important. This is how you make the custom variation system work. You expand on, for instance, MKX gave us the variation system, right? But it gave us 3 variations to select. One focused on rushdown, one focused on zoning. You guys know how it works. But the way you expand on that is to give us a bigger variation system. You know, make us customize our variation to where, you know, we can do what we want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Create our own variation. And that's how you expand on it. Now, here's the key. You have to balance that shit out. It is up to the developers to balance all that shit out to make sure everything is balanced. You know, certain things don't just break the game, and that's what they're getting paid for. In my opinion, I strongly believe that it's up to the developers to balance the gameplay stuff when it comes to the variations, because that's why they're getting paid. You know, we bought this game. We're wasting our money on DLC, on all the characters and all the content. NRS they're loaded, man. They have mad money and they're getting paid tons of money. So it's up to them to balance all that shit out. And the fact that Stephanie mentioned the Terminator armor breaking shit, I mean the armor, you know, that armor move, that's a real good example, because that move is incredibly strong. And also I wonder if they're going to change Sub-Zero's ground move, the ice move that can stop wake ups and stop neutral jumping and all that shit, because that Sub-Zero's ground ice is really strong as well. So I'm hoping that that's banned as well, along with Terminator's armor move. So anyway,
which we talked about it earlier. We cannot remember the name of it with Kano, where you use Snake Bite and Command Grab. I had a name for this combo in one of the early Combat casts. I used to say it all the time. I can't remember it, so please tweet me. Remind me what that was called. I'll be doing that very excited.
So here's a question for a second. Now, say variation 2 of Malia. Can I get rid of her run and replace that with the ball?
Yes, which I actually think is probably going to be a pretty
that is the goal, man. That's the key.
Using the base variation,
Swapping one move out for another, not making it crazy.
One or two things.
Just make it feel better. Make it,
Her variation 1, I actually
make it
really
so
like
every
actually
player
like
can
a lot,
personalize
but I
their
like
own
to
variation.
move, upward razor ring and put in amplifying the double kick to keep you in the corner. Like a lot of I think that's actually going to be very common. And the default variations will still be there if you just want to quickly use it. Or I think it'd be great if you're new to a character and you're like, there's like 10 moves. What is going on? There's still like a good way to be like, oh, well, this is. You can kind of get ideas for how you'd like to do it.
So Combat League, I can make my own variations and go through it right now, right? Once the patch hits.
Right.
Okay, so it's definitely on launch.
Awesome. So that's definitely one of the big. When it comes to balance, like that's a big thing. Like
It's, in my opinion,
I said it from the beginning, man.
Potential meta shift we've introduced.
Potential? Nah, son. That is gonna completely shift the meta. It's gonna reset the meta. We're gonna have to relearn the game, and I love it. I love it, man. Give me more shit to learn. Give me more shit to learn how to defend against.
We'll talk afterwards. I got a PowerPoint for you. We'll talk about it. So let's now discuss. We were talking earlier about some system stuff.
Yes. So we've taken a look at pretty much most of the gameplay systems and made some tweaks that I think are pretty exciting. The first one I'd like to talk about is we've adjusted the hit regions, like hurt box, on crouching characters.
Finally.
And this should help with a lot of inconsistencies and moves going over someone when they're crouching.
That's a huge problem, man. A huge problem. I've been saying it from the beginning, man. The hurt boxes.
The other thing across the cast is we've taken a look at the down pokes, down threes, and down ones. Most characters have had them adjusted. Some have more recovery, some have less. Like Aaron Blacks, for example, now have more recovery on blocks. You can kind of check him with one of your fast mids if you think he's going to mash them.
Perfect.
And that's something where when the patch notes come out, you guys can absolutely go. It's going to be like Christmas. Like, I would expect a lot of you to just be sitting there at F5ing waiting for it, and then as soon as it's there, someone needs to make a spreadsheet for the changes and just go crazy. So that's pretty exciting.
And we talked about how like a lot of those too, like they differentiate between characters. We're not going to go through,
All right, I'm going to pause it for a second. So yeah, so a huge problem in this game, and I've mentioned this to some of the bigger YouTubers. I've had a conversation with MK Rio on his stream, but he said the hitboxes are just fine in the game. He doesn't believe that there's anything wrong with the hitboxes. I've preached the gospel of fixing the freaking hitboxes. There's certain pokes. There's certain stand, like for instance, when you hit stand 1 or whatever character's anti-air button is, dude, you would jump damn near behind them and you will still get jabbed out of the air. And it looks stupid because you're clearly behind the character and you would still get jabbed out. So right now they're focusing on the crouching buttons, like the down threes. I really want them to fix the anti-air stuff as well. Some stuff should not hit behind characters. So hopefully, at some point, they will take a look at the anti-air buttons and retweak the hitboxes for that.
Another thing is hop attacks are now immune to down ones until they are done and are recovering. So
Ah.
you can beat their pokes if someone's spamming them. You're kind of taking a risk. It's not the fastest thing to do in the world, but it'll just flat out beat it. So if you want to make the read, that's a good way you can do it.
Okay.
Another thing that's kind of neat and going to improve the pacing of the game and get a little bit faster is get up animations are now adjusted to be a couple of frames faster. 4, I believe. So when you get knocked down, you'll basically get up faster. You have similar options but it'll just be quicker. You are on the ground
So you're
for
gonna
a
have to
lot.
relearn some media attacks and
And
Oki
that also
setups.
goes with what we talked about last time, where get up animation, the delayed wake up is now just one timing. There's not short and long. It's just kind of a middle ground, and there's a little animation for it too.
Okay.
And
So yeah, that is very important because this could be a good thing or a bad thing. For me, is a good thing because I've been playing fighting games for years. I don't have a problem with learning a lot of stuff. But I personally like the fact that we have less to worry about when somebody wakes up. So now we can just focus on learning like one or two meaty setups or Oki setups. You know what I'm saying? So whereas before you would have to like learn meaty setups for short wake ups, medium, long. You know, you had like to learn all these different meaty setups. So now we only have to focus on maybe one or two. So I'm cool with it. I'm really cool with that.
and I think one last thing I'd like to talk about is a change to fatal blows. Two things actually. They across the board, a lot of them I think have more or sorry less pushback on block, especially like in the corner situations and stuff like that, to make them a little bit easier to punish on block. And then the second thing, which is very interesting, it's a new mechanic that some moves we have expanded the window for a flawless block.
Okay, they're gonna talk about flawless block, but let me talk about the fatal blow stuff. So, in my opinion, I don't think fatal blows should have any pushback ever, ever. It's bad enough that it armors. It's bad enough that some fatal blows reach full screen. So, to me, fatal blows are really strong in MK11. I'm not saying they're busted, but they're incredibly strong. All right, some fatal blows can hit you from full screen. The fatal blows armor. The fatal blows, when you block them, they have pushback, making them safe in most situations, and that is bullshit. In my opinion, they need to get rid of. This is what I would do to fatal blows. All right, personally, I would remove pushback for all fatal blows. You block it, that's it. You're fucked. If I block your fatal blow, if I made that read to block your fatal blow, I'm gonna punish you with whatever the hell I want. All right. It's bad enough that it armors. It does ridiculous damage when you mash it raw. I think I think they should nerf the damage to fatal blow as well. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell a fatal blow should do over 30%. That is dumb. Hitting a raw fatal blow and you get 300 damage? Come on, man. But yeah, for sure, man. Fatal blow should never have put in any fighting game. If you do a super, it shouldn't have any pushback. That is bullshit. So anyway, back to they're gonna talk about the flawless block, and this is one of the things that I kind of don't like, and I'll talk about that in a second.
You'll actually have 6 frames to flawless block a move, and that applies to every fatal blow. So the idea would be if you know it's coming and you're ready for it, it will be significantly easier to flawless block, and then you get punished. And this will also apply to other moves, which I guess we can just go straight into that, unless you guys have some thoughts on these changes.
Uh, no, like, no, I don't.
All right. So, in my opinion, I don't think they should make flawless blocking easier. I think the biggest appeal for flawless blocking is the fact that it requires specific timing, a certain amount of skill to read your opponent. It's almost the equivalent of parrying in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. It's so satisfying because parrying requires strict timing, and that goes for flawless blocking in this game. It requires strict timing, and that to me that gives it the appeal. You know what I'm saying? It requires timing skill. So when you hit it, it's very satisfying, especially when you catch your opponent trying to break away during a flawless block launcher, and then you hit them with the armor break, getting your crush and you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Making it easier, I don't know how I feel about that. I hope that they don't go too crazy with it, because to me, flawless blocking is fun to hit, man. Because you know you have to practice that shit. I mainly like to flawless block wake up attacks. That's how I use it. But I don't think they should make it too easy because it's gonna lose its appeal. Everybody's gonna be just pretty much just hitting flawless blocks left and right. You're gonna see it all the time, and it's pretty much gonna become like the main meta. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We'll see what changes they'll do to flawless blocking.
I'm really excited. There's a lot of these things we've heard about, from the community, and we do listen to those things, and sort of take our own direction on how we want to change the game in those sort of ways. And these are the systems that we kind of want to look at right now. And I think that a lot of people will be happy with these things.
Right, there's always you're right. We do like to look at feedback. Our design team is watching streams and looking at tournament results and looking at our internal data. We actually have a vast amount of that. Like our lead designer can actually see the like matchup numbers, just real results and all that. So if you're like, oh my god, like Jax, he 7-3s this character, we can actually see. No, you don't.
No.
We have that data. Yeah, you're exaggerating.
That's one of my favorite. One of my favorite things to do is to go to Paul's office and just see like the matchups of okay,
Oh yeah.
Jade, okay, Jade, okay, Jade. Okay. It's great. Yes.
But what I was going to say is there's also a balancing act with first you look at what is everyone talking about, who's good, who's bad, then you have to kind of parse out well what are the players.
All right, I think now they're gonna get into some examples of character nerfs and
Then the really
buffs.
tricky part, and that's where the design team really has to think about it is what do you do to change it? Because it's easy to say, hey, this move's too strong. And it's like, well, we also don't want it to be bad. So it's a whole thing. My whole point is, yes, we do listen. Keep complaining. Not that you would stop anyway, but your voice does get through, even though you don't necessarily get a reply on Twitter. Just don't complain to me. Complain to Paul.
Awesome. So we do have a couple. We have two short videos we want to show to kind of explain a couple. There's only like two. There's again, all the characters have some stuff in their list. I'm not going to go through all of that today. But
All
we'll
right,
show
here
a
we
couple
go.
things right now. Who do we want to start with?
Here we go.
We'll start with Jackie.
So, Jackie actually has this enhanced flawless block thing with her elite.
I wanted this
If
change
you see
from
what
the
she's
start.
doing, you can flawless block it much easier now. Let me put it this way.
Again,
You gotta be ready for it.
I don't want to
Like,
flawless block it
like,
easier. Just make it
As
punishable.
we've established, I'm an old, and I haven't been good at games in like 5 years now, and I can do it. So that's a really good barometer. And when you flawless block, you can't cancel, so that means she can't get her pressure. Now, of course, if you're sitting there waiting to flawless block, she's gonna get her pressure going in other ways. She can dash up or whatever. So it's not like you literally she can't move anymore. But if you're ready for it and you're really sure she's gonna leave, it's a really great option to do. And the second thing we showed there is her dash punch is now punishable on block. It's -12, so you can get it.
There you go. That's a really good
Quickly,
change.
so watch the VOD. You can watch it again. Some of these videos are very short, but this is how we can't show it live like we used to. So this is our way to do it.
I've been wanting that change since forever. That Superman punch he does shouldn't be safe in any way.
And I'm here. And I'm here for it. Let's take a look at Raiden. Raiden, yeah.
All right, I'm not too familiar with Raiden.
This move is now actually advantage on block. It ends in an overhead and it's really quick. So it's really awesome for mixing up with his backbone pressure. And then the Super Volt move is now safe if you charge it for just slightly. And the main reason I wanted to show
I'm actually cool with these changes for Raiden. I think Raiden was a bit weak in certain situations, and the fact that he's getting more more safe, safe frames, it's a good call.
Aaron Black's low gun is now significantly slower because previously it was like the fastest projectile ever.
That's how you do it, man.
Her dancing fan, where she does the enchantress dance and fans spin around her, that has had a significant change where there's only one fan instead of three unless she amplifies it. And it's
Perfect.
just different kind of changes like that with some of the
That's one of the.
easier moves
All right.
in the game that we've looked at.
For those of you who don't know, I did play Highborn Katana, and I'm not gonna lie, I was destroying everybody with Highborn Katana's fan move, and it's one of the reasons why I kind of stopped playing. I kind of felt like it wasn't satisfying for me to win with Highborn Katana. So the fact that characters that are uh, OP'd are getting toned down and weaker characters are getting buffed, that is what you want to do for any fighting game. That is what makes, in my opinion, a good fighting game. When you can balance it to a point where you can have weaker characters go up against like the top tier characters, and based on the better player, you know what I'm saying? The better player is going to always win if the game is balanced. So, yeah, that's a good call to really make some character balance changes.
Excellent.
And I'm happy that
And, you know, across the board, there's
I'm happy that they're
plenty of
doing it
announcements
to the
that we're gonna
characters
be
that actually
releasing
deserve
right
it.
before we launch on November 17th. So that before, like, we're gonna say our goodbyes because at the end of this we're gonna play a short video from one of our earlier streams about sort of how the upgrades work and that sort of things for those of you who missed that. Am I missing something, DK? Oh,
Yeah. Remember the things that I
Go.
talked about with anyone? Okay. Hello.
I forgot about those
DK
things.
here.
I forgot. That's
It's
on
okay.
me.
It's okay. So, starting on November 24th, there will be a race against time where you can actually earn the ultimate MK3 Melina skin and mask.
Oh, that's
So
right. I
if you
forgot
guys are
about
wondering
this.
how you're going to get that, it's going to start off in Race Against Time, so you can earn it that way for free. Starting the 18th, we're going to have some new crypt events coming live that actually have bigger bundles of rewards that I actually are really excited for. And then starting December 29th, we are going to start repeating the Combat League seasons. So if you weren't able to get in for the season of Blood because it was X months ago, we're
Oh
going to bring
shit.
those back and start those again from the beginning.
Oh
Pre-ordering
shit.
the skins. So if you couldn't get to Demigod in the previous season, but you really wanted that skin, it'll probably be a lower ranking. So everybody that wasn't able to get them before hopefully can now.
Okay, I didn't know
And
that.
also,
I
the
totally missed this
2018
shit.
seasons will also have new gear and brutalities and other items for you to unlock as well. So, booyah!
All right, so I've been getting asked this question a lot from people. A lot of people have been asking me how did I get the Kung Lao dive kick brutality. I got it, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the season of Blood. It was one of the earlier seasons, and the fact that they're gonna bring back some of the older seasons, guys, that is how you unlock the dive kick brutality with Kung Lao. So pay attention to the season's rewards, and grind out, man. Grind it out and get that brutality. It's one of the best ways to end matches, man. I love it. I love that brutality. That's cool, man. I totally missed this shit.
Now, for the people that keep asking, how am I going to get those skins? There it is.
Cool,
Good
cool,
way
cool.
Sorry, I almost forgot. That was big info.
I totally missed this shit.
That's why I'm here. You know, it's all good.
It's on me. It's on me. Awesome. So that's really it. We got Melina, Rambo, Rain, next gen coming.
I'm
November
probably gonna
7th.
play all three characters at some point. I'm gonna focus on Rain at first.
Mortal Kombat 11.
We'll see how it goes with Rambo.
Make sure you pre-order it, right? So that you get the Time
Yes.
Warrior skins. And I think it's just about 11 days away. So get hyped.
That is less than 2 weeks, man.
I'm personally like, I know it's been a weird year for everybody, and we are in our homes right now, and it's really exciting working at a game company to be able to bring you people playing the game something that you can really enjoy during these times. Like, that's exciting to me, and that's something that really brings me a lot of joy, and I'm sure it does for Stephanie and Derek as well. So,
yeah.
before we go, any final words?
It's Melina Day!
Look at Stephanie. Stephanie's like, nah, I'm good.
I don't know.
I can't tell if Stephanie wants to do these combat cast or not. Stephanie always looks kind of like
Before we go, let's take a look
annoyed
at
and uninterested.
a couple weeks back. If you have Mortal Kombat 11 already on PS4 or Xbox One, or get Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate on PS4 or Xbox One, you can upgrade to the PS5 or Xbox Series X or S version of this game for free at no additional cost.
Alright, we already know that.
Now, if you pre-order MK11 Ultimate, you'll get access to Mortal Kombat 11, Kombat Pack 1, and Aftermath when you purchase the game. Now, if you already own Mortal Kombat 11, you can easily upgrade by pre-ordering Kombat Pack 2 to get Melina, Rain, and Rambo on November 17th.
Cool.
Now, any players who pre-order Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate or Combat Pack 2 will get the Time Warrior skin pack at launch, giving you 3 new skins: Dark Web Noob Saibot, Halt and Catch Fire Liu Kang, and Blood Code Scarlet. Now here's something I've been getting a lot on Twitter, so I want to explain this. If you upgrade your PS4 game to the PS5 version, as long as you are signed in with the PlayStation ID, the same one, your inventory, rewards, character variation, and time crystals will carry over, as
Perfect.
well as anything purchased with time crystals. Previous Tower of Time and crypt progression will carry over as well.
Perfect. All right.
Story progression, unfortunately, will not carry over to PS5, but any rewards
Oh.
earned by any sort of campaign completion will carry over.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Savings files and stats in your combat card will not carry over to PS5. And finally, for the Xbox users, if you upgrade your Xbox One game to the Xbox Series S or X version, as long as you are
All right.
signed in
I
with
don't
the
have
same
Xbox.
login, all
Well, then again,
inventory,
let me let it rock.
rewards, character variations, progression, time crystals will carry over, as well as anything you purchased with time crystals. Now, you'll still need to download your local save data from the cloud or transfer via USB to carry over custom settings or any sort of combat cast stats. But that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to tweet us. We can explain it better. 11 days, Derek says. 11 days.
Cool, man.
We cannot wait to see you.
So the story
in
stuff
game. Thank you
doesn't
so
carry
much
over.
for joining us for all of these combat casts.
That's
Thank
good
you
to
for
know.
being
I actually didn't know that.
behind the cameras and everything, helping us. It's been a real joy to be able to bring these to you, and we will see you next time.
All right. There you have it. So pause it real quick. So there you guys have it. Those are the gameplay changes. So how I feel about it, mostly positive. I love the fact that weaker characters are going to get buffs and stronger characters are going to get nerfed. So that is how it should be. Aaron Black, in my opinion, is one of the best characters in the game. I think Scorpion is one of the best characters in the game. And it's good to see that the devs are looking into nerfing some of these stronger characters and buffing some of the weaker characters. So I'm excited for the variation stuff, obviously. So I can't wait to experiment and relearn some shit and learn some new stuff along the way. Learn how to defend against some of the crazy new shit coming. So I'm just happy that NRS is keeping MK11 new and fresh. So, man, it should have been like this from the beginning. As I mentioned, it should have been like this from the start. That is what the devs are getting paid for. Yes, it is a balancing nightmare, but it is what they're getting paid for. And I stand by that, man. But what I kind of don't like is the flawless block change. I don't know how easy they're gonna make this shit in the patch. I don't know how the timing is gonna be. They're gonna have to be real careful because to me, flawless blocking in MK11 is possibly my favorite mechanic because it requires a specific timing, specific matchup knowledge, because certain characters have gaps in between their strings. I don't want them to make it so simple that everybody could just, just simply do a flawless block and go for a combo. It's going to lose its appeal. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But that's pretty much it, man. I'm excited for the variation stuff. I can't wait to play Buzzsaw Kung Lao in Combat League. If you guys have not watched my Buzzsaw video with Kung Lao, I did play some casual matches with Buzzsaw. A lot of people like that video, so I'll link that video down below in the description, so you guys can go check that out, man. So that's all I got, man. Tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think about all the changes coming? What characters are you more excited about? I'm personally excited for Rain. I'm not that excited for Rambo as much anymore, to be honest. His trailer looked good, but when they showed him off in the combat cast, I'm not gonna lie, he looked pretty dry. I didn't really like the gimmick with his Claymore bomb, where it hits you and then you can hide it, which is, I don't know, it's kind of gimmicky. I don't know. We'll see, man. I'll play around with Rambo. I'll play around with Rain. Most likely, I'm going to stick to Rain. I might try Melina. I think Melina's gameplay is really good. Her default skin, I'm still not a fan of, but I do love her Mohawk skin and her Khan skin. So, 11 more days, man. So I'll end the video at that. Leave you guys' thoughts down below. As always, my name is Sophia Alcom. Wishing you guys mad love and peace. Catch y'all next time.